assholes. You are now fucking listening to the Two Clouded Mind Show with Chris.
What would it take for Ryan to suck a dick?
And Ryan.
Oh, God, you just coughed all over me.
With special guest appearances, unique games, and contests. Give us a goddamn call. 669-241-2420. Or stalk us like your girlfriends do. On Facebook and Instagram at the Two Clouded Mind Show. Let's get fucking clouded. It's the Two Clouded Mind Show.
Hailing all the way from the streets of Shaolin. No, you're not even from Staten Island. You're not even from Staten Island. I just really wanted to say the streets of Shaolin.
I was waiting for my introduction before I jumped in, so that's why I was
you know
silent.
what?
He was building it up.
I was, you know what? I just wanted to say the streets of Shaolin. Dude, I can fuck up a wet dream. Doesn't matter. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Lewis.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a lot of folks know me Stevie Lou in the comedy world, but I've been going by Stephen Lewis because that's like my stage name now. So I appreciate you giving me my propers, bro. How are you?
I'm good, man. You know,
Man, you're looking fit. I'm telling you, you're looking like you're in fighting shape right now.
Yeah, April.
Bro, do you need a sparring partner?
Dude, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, dude, seriously?
I mean, we're basically eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah.
We stand up.
100%.
You may have a few pounds on me, but I'm okay with that. I think
Yeah.
I'm not too far
I
away.
suck, so it doesn't matter.
Stop it.
Dude, that'd be so much fun. Yeah.
I'd love to punch you in the head.
I would love for you to punch me in the head.
Or try to punch you in the head because I know how boxing works.
Hey, listen,
you know?
man. I'm down.
That's how we met.
That is how
we met in a boxing ring, bro.
Weird, right?
That's a cool way to meet someone.
Yeah.
I like
you.
that.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah,
Shout
we
out
met
to Maria.
at Skankfest, Houston.
Yes, Skankfest South is what
Yeah.
they called that because that was the first time that was not in New York City.
Okay.
Oh.
And that's how I had.
I was going to ask, how were you connected with that being all the way from Brooklyn?
Yeah, I grew up in New Rochelle, New York,
Mhm.
which is Westchester County, but I've been living in Manhattan or the five boroughs for the past 15 years
Okay.
or so. And right now I am based in Brooklyn. I've been there for the past 5 years with I'm married now for 2 years, but I've been living there for 5. So
Nice.
shout out to wifey.
Nice.
She might
Oh,
be,
yeah.
shout out to my
Yeah.
wife, might be watching. But I used to help out Rebecca Trent, who was one of the main producers of Skankfest, who used to run a place in Queens called the Creek in the Cave.
Okay.
And the Creek in the Cave has now moved down to Austin, Texas during pandemic, but she's one of the main producers along, with Lewis and Christine Evans as well. Louis J. Gomez, for the folks that don't know who we're talking about here, are the three main producers of this festival called Skankfest. And I used to work with Rebecca. I'm a comedian, a stand-up comedian who does some, janitorial side work.
Nice. I think we all do.
You got to diversify in this business until we make it. But yeah, I used to go over when it was at the Creek in the Cave first, and then it was over at this place called Brooklyn Bazaar.
Okay.
So Skankfest grew from a 500 person festival at a small comedy club, 3 nights, to a 2,000 person venue in Brooklyn for 2 years. And then the last place they did it was fucking The Secret Group down in Houston,
That
Texas.
place is
And
sick.
It was probably 2,000. I don't know, 3,000, 4,000. There was I think I want to say 5,000 people.
A lot of people there.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
There definitely was. There's tons of people there. It was so cool. The venue was so cool. The layout was so cool. But yeah, dude, that's how we met. You were part of the production team.
So Jason Ellis, shout out to our good buddy Jason out in California. He has a thing called Ellis Mania, and that's where they do boxing events. And Louis J. Gomez was going to do a quick 1 round with Jason, and Chris ended up being one of the undercards. And I was kind of like the ring manager, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
I was
cool.
running in and out. Yeah, they did this one thing, Maria. I don't know if you saw you said you watched the
I was
video.
watching it live while teaching a child's paint party. it was pretty amusing. I was like, "Shut up, kids! I'm trying to watch my friend fight."
Did you have all the little kids surrounded around you?
Yeah,
watching?
they were 8 years old, and we were painting mermaids, and I was making them watch this. It was actually the pinata fight that was going on during that time.
Yes.
It was really funny.
And for the folks at home that don't know, a pinata fight is when one person dresses up like a pinata and they tape candy all over them, and then a bunch of boxers try to knock the candy off of them. So that's just fucking. If you folks don't know, if you know about this show and you don't know about LS Mania, shame on you. But yeah, where were we at? Yeah, so just I'm like doing ring management. They do this one thing called musical chairs.
Yes.
Where there's 6 boxers and 5 chairs. No, sorry, like they leave 2 chairs out. So that the only 2 people standing have to fight each other to stay in.
This sounds like something a bunch of teenagers made up, all these fights. I love it. Like, brought it to life.
Yeah, like frat boy bullshit.
Yeah.
We had a good time. So I was the one who was removing the chairs each time when someone was eliminated, making sure no one was like
dying,
knocked out on their feet.
Yeah, you definitely saved my life a few times. For sure. Yeah.
Well, then Chris ended up having one of the undercards where he actually had a straight up 3-round, right? It was scheduled 3-round match, I think, against somebody, or am I incorrect? Incorrect there?
No. I didn't fight. No, I was just in the pinata fight and the musical chair fight.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. I was.
I just did
You
both
just wish he
days.
was.
I just did both days. The upcoming
he was
fight,
there the whole time.
Yeah.
the upcoming Ellis Mania is a solo fight in April. Yeah, that one I'm pretty stoked for.
Tell me more about that if you can. I don't know if you can.
I don't know 100% all the details. I just know that I am fighting the Hulk Bogan and I'm the Down Undertaker.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we're fighting at 190.
There you go.
He's 5'9". I'm 6'5".
You're going to have to cut some weight.
I sit at 190 right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now.
Holy shh. Wow.
Yeah, dude. I fluctuate between 190 and 195.
Sure.
So yeah, that's where I'm walking around at right now.
So I'm like 200 pounds myself, dude. So we're more or less built from the goddamn same template.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
You got a few more face tattoos than me.
Yeah. I felt very little standing next to you guys.
Both of us. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have to Eiffel Tower her later.
You what?
Yes.
If you're polite.
Joke's on you, I'm into that shit.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
And my wife, I'm sorry. That was a comedy joke that I make. I'm a stand-up
Obviously,
comedian.
yes.
No, seriously, my wife couldn't be cooler with the crazy shit. Like, I had to like say, hey, baby, I'm going down to Houston for the weekend for a comedy festival.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and she was like, well, can I come? And I'm like, I mean, you could come.
But
I'm
do
not,
you
I'm not
really
saying
want
no,
to?
but
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
realize it's gonna be me, like backstage doing some show. Because I got to perform. I got to perform at Skankfest South.
That's
Oh, sick.
amazing.
So,
That's
as
amazing.
a stand-up comedian, that was
Yeah.
a huge honor.
That's so rad.
Thank you again to Louis J. Gomez,
Totally.
Christine
Yeah,
Evans, and Rebecca Trent for it was great. They had one room that just did comedy 24/7 the whole time
Oh,
that the
that's
festival
so
was going.
fun.
It was like supposed to be like a fever dream
Mm-hmm.
comedy club that just the show never ended. You know?
Yeah,
They
like
would,
no windows. You don't know what time it is.
Exactly,
What's going
exactly.
on?
And they had like a few folks that would be like waiting outside to get the seats as people would leave.
Oh,
so
that's
as
so
someone
cool.
left,
Was
they-
that the big room that was like where the tattoos were and like the outside, right outside that back door was the ring?
It was like, exactly, kind of between her. Yeah, it was called like the room to nowhere or whatever.
It was
but
cool.
they would have a new host basically jump in every hour and a half,
Oh.
and then they'd have the host would be able to just set the little lineup, and you'd go and do 10 minutes or so. So I was like, all right, let me just stay close to this the whole time, and they would have a set lineup, and then they would say someone wouldn't show up. They would be like, yeah, that guy didn't show up, so you could just fill
Like
in.
an understudy.
Fill in. Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, I was like a comedy understudy,
Yeah.
but like I was just jumping in and getting to do 10 minutes in front of the Skank
That's
Fest
amazing.
crowd.
Yeah.
Maria, let me tell you, Chris knows the crowd, so I'm trying to speak to you on this one.
Yeah.
It's one of the they get comedy like no other group of folks. So
yeah, those
listen,
people want to be there. They have-
let's like a free ad for the Legion of Skanks and the Skankfest crew.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're listening to this and you know the Two Clouded Heads, show, and you know Chris, like you should really consider trying to get out to Skankfest Vegas, coming and hanging, and anything Skankfest related, and
Fuck yeah.
Ellis Mania too. I think
Yeah.
honestly, like really, you should come out and come and be in Chris's corner for Skankfest.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. That's amazing. That'd be fucking dope. Yeah, like I had such this like perception of skanks being like a bunch of fucking dickheads. I couldn't be more wrong. I had the best time. Everybody there was so sweet. Everybody took care of each other. There was no issues at all. Like the whole weekend. Not one issue that I heard of. Like there was no fights. There was no bullshit. No drama.
Yeah, it's just a good vibe.
Okay, I got one.
Now I'm curious.
I had one. So I'm not gonna say none.
Okay.
It was one, and
Okay.
I can maybe, like, if you guys don't mind, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please do.
go.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so my buddy, Zach Amico.
Yeah,
Zach,
yeah.
Thank you for knowing Zach Amico. Zach Amico is one of the funniest comics around, but he's like kind of a freak show
Okay,
comedian.
wait, how so?
Very, he's very colorful.
Yeah, exactly. I
Okay.
got
Very
So,
bright,
Zach-
very loud.
Zach got me my start in film production because he works with Trauma Entertainment, which is like
Nice.
the B horror film genre.
Toxic Avenger.
Exactly. Lloyd Kaufman, director and writer of
Mhm.
Toxic Avenger, is a friend of mine, person
That's
I've worked
awesome.
with because of my relationship with Zach. He
Mhm.
got me in with them. So he's done also like underground wrestling,
Okay.
death
Oh.
match
Fuck yeah.
stuff. So
Cool.
kayfabe and like Carney life is something
Mm-hmm.
that Zach clearly is a fan of, and he continues to lead that, that charge. So he has a show called The Naked Roast.
Yes.
Hmm.
You've heard of this.
I heard of it.
But Maria, what they do is they do a roast battle,
Okay.
but they do it naked. So
like just
everybody's
the two
naked.
people or like the whole crowd?
So a roast battle is usually 2 people and 3 judges.
Okay.
So they judge who roasted the other person better. Both roast people and the 3 judges are actually on stage.
That would be so distracting for me.
Well, especially if Jason Ellis was on stage, which he was at Skankfest Houston, and now we all know that the man has like a plumber's wrench for a dick. Apparently, I mean,
He's got a gas pump.
he's got one of those things that you open a fire hydrant with
Oh my god.
as a schlong. So shout out to Jason. He's married, so none of us are getting any of that. But yeah, like yes. So Zach Amico has this this naked roast battle,
Mm-hmm.
and shit, where the hell did my story just go? I lost it, man.
Were you trying to get onto this?
No. Okay, yeah, thank you. I was doing security. Thank you, Maria. You
You're
brought me
welcome.
back on track. I was.
So I'm here.
I mean, I'd be down. I'd be down to do it, but I'd be also down just to be a clothed security for that show, because the big thing is that there's no cameras, no phones allowed for that. We give
Makes
respect to the artists that are putting themselves out there as best as you could, and we will not allow. We say, listen, I don't give a fuck if you're father's on their deathbed and you got to make that final call. Take it outside during, there's no excuse for anyone to have a phone out
exactly.
other than you trying to be sneaky and take a picture.
Yeah.
So we've said that like over and over and over and over again. And then as soon as the fucking show starts, I see this douchebag reach into his pocket and pull his phone out. And I'm like, all right. I gave them multiple
Took his
warnings.
badge,
So,
right?
Yeah.
so I grabbed the kid and I made an example of him in front of everyone. And I
Yeah.
was like, yo, you took a picture. Give me your phone and I need to look at your photo
Yeah, to
album.
delete it.
I was like, let me look at your photo album.
Yeah.
And he tried to be like a man for a second. And then I was like, yo, like, I will take your badge and you'll be gone for the weekend.
Yeah.
Or let me see your phone and I have to make an example of you. I told you guys no. So he shows me the phone, see the picture,
Yeah.
delete. You know what? You still got to go. You can't stick around for this show. He was drunk. He was really drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He caused the scene. We had to escort him out. Apparently, he tried to drive away. That's what I heard. He was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to go home. So
No.
I swear to God, Maria, listen, this is alleged, but I swear to God, I grabbed the kid's keys out of his pocket.
Ah.
I physically went into his pocket. I jiggled his balls a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you have to at that point.
I was like, let me see what this guy's packing here.
Yeah.
I know, I swear to God, I grabbed his keys and I fucking gave him to another security person. I was like, just get this fucking thing out of here.
Yeah.
And the kid, I think he might have got locked up or something like that because he caused a big scene. But the bottom line was that he didn't drive home.
Yeah.
You know, so, and again, he was too twisted that he was deciding to take pictures when he was told not to.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, no one took pictures after, too. You know, that was the big thing. So,
Sick.
Wow.
yeah, I know.
That's
Thank you for letting me
wild.
to tell it. Like, I have not told that story full out, so I really appreciate this opportunity.
No, we
no
appreciate
problem,
it.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, that whole weekend was a blast. It was a trip. It really was. But like you said, like your wife was like really super cool with you doing the same.
So wait,
like,
so your wife didn't wind up going?
She stayed home.
Oh.
She stayed home. And then, like I said, I got COVID, and then I came home, and literally the day after I got home, I have 101 fever.
Oh shit.
She's like having to take care of me,
Oh,
you know?
man.
So like, and she's kind of like, you got this from that day, you
Yeah.
know? So it was a double whammy.
I'm sorry, Chris. I cut you off. You were gonna say.
no, I was just like the same thing. Like when I was asked, when I was like said, yeah, you can go fight, but you can't bring anybody. You know what I mean? That was
Sure.
like that was our thing on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Like we weren't allowed to like bring anybody.
Well, I mean, I'll openly admit that I didn't have a flight or a hotel for Skankfest.
yeah.
You know, I wasn't a contracted performer. I wasn't contracted staff.
Mhm.
I was told, if you can get a flight and you can get a hotel, come hang,
Fuck
do
yeah.
your thing.
Yeah.
You used to work when we were in New York.
Yeah.
Like, I ended up jumping into a production role in a few places
Mhm.
when the need was there, you
Mhm.
know, but I did try to just enjoy myself, which
Yeah.
I fucking, you're right. What a blast,
It
man.
was cool,
They
man.
had a fucking bunk. I helped Doug Stanhope and Bingo, his lady Bingo, onto a bucking Bronco bull. You know, one of those like those
Yeah.
those things,
Yeah.
and like I helped him on and helped pick him up when he got
Oh my
slammed.
god.
Doug Stanhope. Did you get to hang with Doug at all?
No, no.
Fuck, man, that was. Who did you get to chill with?
Nobody like in particular. I bumped into a bunch of people. I bumped into Big Jay Okerson
Yes.
a ton of times. I kept bumping into Lewis in the back, like all the time. It was weird. Bumped into Natalie a bunch.
We got to see, bro. Can you believe this? Holy shit! We got to see Gilbert Godfrey
No.
and Bob Saget
What?
that weekend.
Crazy.
I just
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
in my head
They
together.
both were there,
Wow.
and they both
Wait.
shredded.
Yeah, they're dead. They're both
That's so
dead.
sad.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
we'll pour out a little. Can I puff out a little
Yes.
joint?
yeah. Smoke one, light
Steven.
one up.
Wait, Steven or Steve? What do you prefer?
Honestly, my mother would call me Steven when I was in trouble. So
I usually call people by their full name, but I'll call you Steve. You have a funny story that you were telling us before.
which
The one about a particular comedian giving you way more than you thought behind the scenes, and it hit you hard and you had a coughing fit.
Oh yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Initiation dab.
Yeah. So, for the folks that don't know Louis J. Gomez, he's a bit of a prankster. He's a little bit of a Puerto Rican rattlesnake prankster. And I was backstage at Skankfest 3, which was the first one at Brooklyn Bazaar, which was this giant 3-leveled concert hall in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And I was able to hang out backstage in the green room. And then shout out to Smoked Honey was the brand that came through with a bunch of concentrated cannabis dab tweezer squeezers. So I was backstage very early on the second day of Skankfest 3, and Louis J. Gomez comes up And he goes, "Hey, buddy, you've been doing great here helping out. Do you want to take a quick dab? Let me do this dab. Let me light this dab up for you."
Very nice of
Yeah,
him.
and I was
Yes,
like, "What the fuck, Lewis? This is like so odd."
Yeah.
That he's being
So
like
nice.
polite and like fucking really cordial. You know, I never saw this side of him. So I was like, yeah, sure, man.
That should have been your
So
first
yeah.
clue.
So then he just giggled and was like, "Okay, bring the rig over." And the motherfucker had these things that were a full gram of extract. And usually a normal dab person will do like a 10th, maybe a 5th. So 2/10 of a dab per sitting. And this motherfucker lit the thing till it was super hot and put the entire gram in one shot.
Did you have a moment where you were like, I kind of just like have to do this because he's watching me? Or were you like, you really wanted to?
He got me good. There was a moment where I saw my dead grandma crawling up my leg with a knife between her teeth.
Stop it.
No, I was tripping. I was fucking
That visual. I can't.
like a pirate. You know, like a pirate climbs up.
Yeah.
Like
Like
a pirate.
evil.
Yeah.
Like all spider lady like.
Wait.
Like, we put you in the ground 2 years ago.
Oh my God. Jeez.
Shout
Nightmare
out
City.
Shout out to dead grandparents all around the world.
Yeah, if you've never done dabs, folks.
Your soul left your body immediately.
But no, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a full gram dab on one shot, and I'll never forget. I went like,
Like slow motion, and then you were gone.
I like was like fake snoring for a little bit like that, and then yeah, it took me about a straight hour to finally like. I told Maria before, like I was like, "Can someone get me some Coca-Cola?" like a Coca-Cola, literally
You
got
need that
like
sugary-
the sugar
Yeah.
got me back, and people were like, "Oh man, are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah, Lewis." So this was the best part is that like midway through him getting me, he got someone else.
Oh yeah,
You know
he
what I
was
mean?
just
So like,
striking.
as I was coming out of my weed coma, I look over and
Somebody
there's
was going
another
in
one who
Yeah.
had just gotten put
and
in.
you're like, it's okay, buddy.
Yeah.
We
I was
will
like,
get through this
give him-
together.
I'm like, give him 40 minutes and get him a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, 40
It'll be
minutes
fine.
and a nice cold.
Oh my God, that's
40
hysterical.
minutes and a nice cold
Coke.
cola. We're good.
Yeah.
Like the school nurse. You know, so yeah, shout out to Louis J. Gomez, Big J. Okerson, Dave
Yeah,
Smith. Those are the
yeah.
Legion of Skanks. I've been following those. I mean, I do some work. I never worked for, but I do some work over at Compound Media. You
Okay.
know, shout out to Anthony Cumia, the guy who runs that show over there. Say
Yeah.
what you will about Anthony and his past. I love Anthony. Anthony is the man. He's always been good to me. He's one of the funniest humans in the world. Legion of Skanks was on Compound Media
Really?
before they
started
started
their
their own. So
Before they started Gas Digital or
this
whatever?
is not like
Nice.
I'm not dropping any dimes here.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone knows that like Legion of Skanks asked for a raise at Compound Media, and
they
they
were
said
like,
no. And then they were like, "All right, we're starting Gas Digital."
Yeah.
Then and they've
And now look at them.
Good
done
for
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they did it. It's
But-
fucking
but-
amazing.
But both, I mean, hey, it's the laws of competition and the market dictates.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Both of them are now Compound Media is going into its 8th year, I believe. 2016 was the first, so 7th year or so,
Mhm.
and then Gas has got to be I think it's hitting its 5th year anniversary
Really?
pretty soon. You know, like most of these things would have been a flash in the pan,
Mhm.
would have dropped out if the money and the subscriber base wasn't there. So
Yeah, yeah.
shout out to all of the
Fuck
fans out there who could be I mean, I don't know, you got anybody streaming over there talking
see, what do we
shit?
got?
Yeah, there could be some shit talkers. I posted I posted a link earlier. Who knows? But
Yeah, there's a couple people in there. There's
but
a
yeah, I
couple
mean, we've
people
got
in there.
great dedicated group of comedy fans coming from Gas Digital and Compound Media,
Mhm.
where you know it's like we need these folks to keep subscribing, keep telling their friends
Mhm.
Yeah.
about the free, like it's really freedom of speech. Both of those networks push. You know, they say all the words.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All the
You know?
words.
Yeah,
All of them.
I won't even say which letter and then the word. It's been said a lot, which causes controversy. But you guys could use your
Use your
imaginations.
imagination.
Of course. So now, have you always been? Has your main focus always been comedy, or were you always more into like what you do with like trauma, your production?
Yeah, production
side of the world.
Dude, I was always a cut up. I was a class clown, you know, blowing up cherry bombs, you know, in toilets and shit. So making fun of the room was something I did as a little kid, and that was my first inkling, was to go towards comedy.
Okay.
And I got to give guys like, you know, the Legion of Skanks and like Bobby Kelly, Rich Voss, Jim Norton. I mean, I'll even say the two, like Louis C.K.
Oh, yeah.
and Dave Attell. You know, like, let me stop there. Those were who I looked up to as a kid.
Absolutely.
And I like kind of try to emulate their style. You know, I'll unabashedly say that. That's my comedy stylings. But I used to have a full-time job. I quit it to pursue comedy full-time, entertainment full-time. And that's what led me into going into production, because I found out that I could not make a fucking living trying to perform as a unknown up-and-coming comic in New York City. I was just able to scrape by, and I had to pick up some production, art department, special effects gigs.
Oh, look how cool that is now. Led you to like this other awesome avenue.
Sure.
We were talking about that on the way over.
Watch us on when it releases. Goodbye.
There you go.
That was smart. Good job, Chris.
So yeah, like I said, I'm kind of finding a new avenue of creativeness with the special effects. And
I love that shit.
And so I do practical special effects. I told Maria about this. But
yeah, we were talking about latex makeup and gore
Oh,
and all
yes.
that.
So
I
cool.
love doing that shit.
Decapitations.
Intestines.
I'm working, but like I just landed a job. I'd love to come back once that's out so I can try to promote that. But I'm now a hired gun as a practical special effects for
So cool.
A short, like a budgeted short where I'm going to be pulling guts out of
that's
a
sick.
chest cavity, cutting a arm off, spraying blood is really simple once you get down to it. You're really just basically running tubes, like electrical wire, you know, and hiding it, you know. And my father was so shout out to Big Stevie Lou.
Aww.
Was my father. He's my father, still living. God bless that man, doing very well. He's probably watching. He was watching on the stream.
Aw, Dad.
But yeah, like it's real arts and crafts, working with your hands, working on the spot, because you know what, you can plan all you want, but when the camera's on, the lights are on, you know, it's the you know the dice are being rolled. So you gotta really be able to respond and work quick on your feet. So that's
90% of this is a riff for me. I'm not even kidding you. 90% of
bullshit.
There's
There's a script over there.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine?
There's a big script. I see.
It's the what's it called? The teleprompter.
Yeah.
Reading.
Yeah, right.
Dude. I could. I don't even think I could read a teleprompter, to be honest with you. That would make me. I would sound so bad.
Scripted. It would sound scripted, I think.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It would sound so bad if I'd be like, the other day.
Wait.
I'm just going to feed lines into your ear, and then you can repeat it after me.
He can read. Right? He can read?
Barely.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. That's messed up. No.
Hey, listen, I do my best. I do my best.
You do a great job, Chris.
You just tell people that you're a boxer. That's all you got to do.
No, I don't tell anybody that ever.
Oh, I want to hear more about your new project that's coming out.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah,
That's
launching today. Unfortunately,
Yes.
the way this works, I don't know what episode he's going to be on by the time this comes out.
That's great. Thank
But-
you. We're on our sneak
Yeah.
peek
Today. Fuck
of
yeah.
That's great. Thank you, both of you, for that. So I would love, folks, if you're interested in this sort of cannabis and entertainment, this sort of
Venture.
channel. Yeah. We have a new podcast called Blunt Smoker Video. Wow, what a podcast. Blunt Smoker Video, where two of my trauma friends and I will smoke a cannabis blunt live on the air, and then we'll watch a film, like a cult classic. Usually something that's got, if it's not weed related, it's just smoked out in general.
Yeah, yeah.
I love this.
And then we don't watch along, which some podcasts do. What we do is we do a little 20-minute intro while we smoke a blunt, talk about the weed that we're smoking, about like just cannabis news and stuff like that. Then we introduce the film that we will be watching. We stop it about 20 minutes in. Then what we do is we watch the first half of the film. And
I like that.
We take notes and chat and get high. And then midway through the film, we'll stop and do about a 20-minute recap of the first half. And what we do is we basically like elaborate on what we're seeing, what we're feeling being high. But the two guys that I'm working with are also film production folks. So we start getting into like lighting effects, like camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really like pulling it all apart.
So, I mean, one episode we haven't put out yet is our Kill Bill episode.
Oh, sweet.
So, like the opening of Kill Bill, there's this great knife scene, and then Vivica A. Fox pulls out the cereal box, and there's a gun in there, and then she tries to kill Uma Thurman, but misses. But the cereal blasts everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool.
Uma Thurman kills Vivica A. Fox, and then she's dead, and there's an overhead shot where all these little cereal pieces are everywhere. So as people who've worked on a film crew before as PAs, we're like, oh man,
mind-blowing, right?
No, we're like, some PA had to lay all of those pieces and then pick them up.
Yeah.
And then Quentin was like, no, that one's got to go over there. Like literally would like have been one of that's a terrifying sort of day on set to have.
Yeah.
To get one of, like, it's an iconic shot in my brain, at least.
Of course,
so, that's like a little
For
sneak
me, I
peek.
like to look at like the color palette that they're gonna use and stuff like that, and like and the lighting, like how you were saying, like where it's drawing your eye. Like, do you remember in Addams Family Values and stuff? They always had light going right across Morticia's eyes.
Yes.
And like that always stuck with me.
So
That's like very
that's
iconic.
That's an old Ingrid Bergman, I think, actress technique, where like that's something they used to do in the film
Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
film noir.
Yeah.
I'm talking about 1940s now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
that's
old
that's kind of
school, old
Dude,
school.
you're talking to a fucking film dork over
No.
here.
I'm
you know?
like, who the fuck is Ingrid Bergman?
Oh, yeah,
she
no,
was
that's-
she was
that's
like
classic.
a German. She
Yep.
was like a German that used to fake an American accent just to get good
Come
roles
on,
because
come on.
she was fucking stunningly gorgeous and
Really?
could act. But yeah, I'm talking about like now. Maria's talking about old school like techniques of using the eye flare,
tricks of like,
because it just makes the eyes pop.
Yeah, I know exactly.
But,
what you're
So
on.
you brought Maria. So our first episode, which I want everyone out there in the Two Clouded Minds world
Universe,
to,
yes.
universe to check out is our first episode just released today on Spotify. So you go out there and you just look up Blunt Smoker, one word, Blunt Smoker video on Spotify, and it's available right now. We did Natural Born Killers.
Cool.
Sick.
As our
Now,
first
is
movie,
this an
so.
audio only, or are you gonna do?
Yeah, so like I said, we don't actually follow along with the film. Honestly, I think that that's our time to just like kind of like
Yeah, of course.
powwow
Yes.
and keep smoking. And like I'll have edibles laid out for my boys too, and we'll like say like, "Oh shit, did you see that?" And then we'll rewind it. So like I don't want folks to have to suffer through that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we'll basically I sit there with the pen and pad and like kind of take down what we're doing, and then
Okay.
I basically pop. This is now going breaking the fourth wall. I'll put a little like dry erase board with like points that we hit, and we try to hit those points on our midway
Nice.
recap, and then we do a final recap as well to get the second half. So here's a
I
good
like that. It's like a commercial break or something, and you guys are like talking about what
yeah,
you've
like
seen.
so you could technically do it from home because we say, hey, we're gonna take a break at minute 101. Okay, because we'll like pre-screen
Yes.
where we're gonna break, and then you could technically listen to the intro, watch till 101, listen to our 20 minutes,
Yeah,
watch
that's
the
what I mean.
rest, and then
Yeah.
listen to our 20 minutes.
That's
which
neat.
honestly, that would be what I prefer people to try to do at home.
Yeah.
That's
I
why I
get
asked
it.
if you do like a video version of that too. Like,
To watch your reaction. See, what I'm picturing in my head is almost like Mystery Science Theater, like that sort of vibe,
Wow.
which I'm super into. So,
Hey,
yeah.
you know what? Like, let me think in the future. There's only 3 of us. We could use maybe 2 more guys to help out. Maybe we could do a live show with Blunt Smoker Video and Two Clouded Minds.
Oh my God,
like
that'd be sick.
live at a cannabis-friendly venue that would let us watch something. We'll watch like Raging Bull.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Yo.
That'd be so
Super
badass.
baked and talk about like Scorsese. So like, okay, so like now you'll maybe get a vibe. Like I'm doing Quentin Tarantino was our pilot episode, which we have not released, but our sneak preview was Oliver Stone. Okay, so now our next one's probably going to be Peter Jackson's. The film is called either Brain Dead or Dead Alive, depending on where the folks at home are coming from. That was one of Peter Jackson who did Lord of the Rings and all that. So I am like super cinema student, and I want to get all of the directors that I really love in first. So Scorsese is definitely on my list. Yeah. And now I'm thinking I might have like Raging Bull out of all the Scorsese films of what to watch when you're high.
That's it.
I would say either that or maybe Mean Streets is also pretty fucking sick. Yeah, I want to say Raging Bull because that's his most artistic.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
When was the last time? When was the last time you watched Raging Bull?
I've never seen it.
Don't crucify me. I've never seen it all the way through.
That's fine. That's what I want. I would
you
never.
need to see it first time. I think that'd be even better.
To get you high and sit you down and let you react to watching Raging Bull for the first time. That is what the folks out there want to. They want to be a part of that. They want to be in the room for that.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like the guys that are on my podcast, they're both 30 years old. I'm turning 40 in December. So I'm catching them up on a lot of shit. So they had never seen Natural Born Killers.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, to witness that with them and catch it.
That's a fun movie. That's such a fun movie, especially like as a Natural Born Killers virgin. It's a fun movie to see it for the first time as an adult. So like you really understand what's going on.
That was Maria put me onto that when she said like describing the colors and the palettes.
That always catches me with movies.
Oliver Stone did a big thing where like he's doing black and white on some scenes, color on some scenes, a green hue on some scenes.
That's cool.
A red hue on other scenes. And apparently, if you kind of break down scholastically the script, those different hues are kind of representing different angles of the story.
Yeah.
Did you ever see there's a company where you can like send them what your favorite movie is and they will they break it down scene by scene like into a bar and then they pull the main color from each of the scenes and they print you this like canvas print of all of the colors from the movie.
What?
So it's like if the movie uses a lot of like mossy greens and stuff, like that's mainly what's going to be in the picture. It's really cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's new by me. It sounds dope.
It does sound cool. It sounds real cool.
Oh, yeah.
I want it.
Chris, what movie would you pick if you picked something for this? Where you had to get really, really high and then deconstruct the movie and pick it apart, like for lighting and the camera production. And
I'm so basic, and it's been done so many millions of times. American Psycho.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah,
I
definitely
really enjoy that movie.
Soundtrack wise too, I feel like that's a big aspect. Like the music they have in that, totally.
Yeah, the soundtrack for that movie is pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
the color usage too in that.
Christian Bale
when he's talking about the business cards, and he's like, "Oh, that one's eggshell white, and this one is ivory."
Yeah, and he's getting all twisted,
and it like looks exactly the same.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure. Yeah, so hopefully this will be something that we. So yeah, like that's the big thing is that we get super high. We talk about what the weed, like is it sativa, is it hybrid,
I'd fucking love if. Chris and I were just talking recently. I told him that Kevin Smith bought the old theater that's over in Atlantic Highlands that I usually go to.
That's where they started the whole Clerks thing.
Yeah, so he's doing something now where it's like you can join their Marvel team where you will like get to watch the movies when they come out with him and you can talk about it after. Then they do Saturday morning cartoons
and
where you have cereal and you can watch cartoons on Saturdays.
Whoa.
And like all these like special events and releases of his movie, and he's like filming his new one there that looks really cool. Could you imagine using like that theater to do something like this? I feel like he would be on board with like an idea.
I mean,
that.
I will give a shout out to one of my co-hosts, James Boylan is a like diehard Kevin Smith.
Oh my
fan.
God, I love him too.
He's done the drive to the secret shop that they
Mhm.
have,
The
right?
secret
I feel
stash.
like we're
Yeah,
not too
right
far,
in Red Bank.
Yeah.
That's
it's
close.
close.
Yeah.
not too far from that right now.
I met him a few times and he's so sweet. Such a kind
So
guy.
yeah, Jesus Christ! If you guys can make that happen, I'll fucking might be. Yeah, let's have, people can dream. We can have pipe
I'm
dreams.
pretty
Hey,
persistent.
I have-
Yes, Maria is a good producer.
I have huge dreams, dude.
Yeah, we could just put that out into the universe and see what comes.
Oh
back.
my gosh,
Comes
when
back
you
to
do
us.
your show and you break to like watch and
Yes.
take your notes and stuff,
Yes.
you should do like after these messages we'll be right back,
Okay.
and do these like
So-
little like cartoony
so
things in between. I think that'd be awesome.
We have a break. We do have a break.
Really?
I have to. Like, thank you for like leading me into this. My good friend Roy Harder, who is a like Hollywood level sound engineer, is the person he made my intro.
Yes.
We had him do our intro, and he does like the little in between. So, Blunt Smoker Video we're ripping off Blockbuster Video.
I love it.
You know, so I actually went back and found this commercial from like 1991 that
Yes.
was a Blockbuster Video commercial. Sounds just like this
I
old.
can like picture these
Yeah.
commercials,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I can smell the Blockbuster.
I was just gonna say that I can smell
I can
Blockbuster.
smell the popcorn and the plastic.
Blockbuster was the best smelling video
Oh my
store
God.
Yeah.
ever.
What was
There's-
the store you went to in Long Island?
On Long Island, yeah.
What town?
Dude, Sayville.
Sayville Blockbuster. Like I bet you
Yeah.
there's people out there watching this that know that spot.
Aw. Mine
You
was
know?
the Aberdeen one.
Aberdeen,
Right up the
So
road.
yeah, and I worked at Blockbuster
You
Video.
did?
Yes, in high
Yes.
school. That's why this is all.
Yeah.
Like I wish I had one of those denim shirts that
Oh,
had
yeah.
the Blockbuster thing on it still.
Oh, you know
But-
what? One of our guests, Chris, I should plug them for a second. Brew Coffee in Matawan.
Okay.
So you know how like people make those little library things they put outside their house that'll be like, leave a book, take a book
Yes.
kind
Yes.
of thing. So he has one that's an old newspaper like machine thing, but he painted it to look like Blockbuster colors.
Shut up.
And it says, leave a movie, take a movie.
Wow.
It's like your little local Blockbuster
Yeah.
thing. I thought that was such a good idea. So it's in Brew Coffee in Matawan. If anyone's
Shout out
interested.
to Brew Coffee in Matawan.
And it's right there on the streets, or is it
I think it's in their shop actually.
I was gonna say,
so
that's like a
it's really
very-
cool.
a very trusting neighborhood to where you could just like I mean, I
Yeah.
get the books and stuff, but like sometimes in some neighborhoods you put something more valuable than a book.
Yeah.
Even so, just books, and it's like you can't really have that in certain neighborhoods.
I live in Brooklyn. The old adage is if you don't nail it to the ground
Yeah.
outside, it's gonna get taken.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna get taken,
Unfortunately,
so.
yeah.
But yeah, give a shout out to what was the company?
Brew Coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Brew Coffee. Give them head over there. Go grab a cup of coffee. Tell them you heard about it on the Two Clouded Minds podcast, and then leave a
movie.
video exactly.
Yeah.
And take
Yeah.
one. But so I worked at Blockbuster Video, and that was a great job for a young kid, especially
Absolutely.
our place, because the manager, he was like, "All right, listen, I know this job sucks, go take an hour and get high, and come back
Wow.
Did it suck?
and
though?
run the register. Running the register
Okay.
Yeah.
is just trash transactions." Cash
I'm
transactions.
just picturing people coming in being
Ah,
like,
God.
can you suggest a movie for
Oh.
blah, blah, blah?
Oh, so, all right, you know what? I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive.
Yes.
The first time I ever tried cocaine
Okay.
was working at Blockbuster Video.
Love it.
Yeah.
What? Was it
Yeah.
off of a video box?
This is already a good story.
Please.
Honestly, you see how I had to think about it? Because I'm like, this is a good one that I've been
Yeah.
holding on to. So, all right, I worked at this Blockbuster Video in Westchester County.
Okay.
Right? Not too far from the Bronx. So
Nice.
I had like established a line of trust with the managers, not the head manager, like the
Yeah.
night managers. And like, I'll never forget, one of them called me up one day, like 2 hours before my shift. And she was like, "Yo, Steve, you got a car, right?" And I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
have a
I
car."
do.
She's like, "All right, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to clock you in 2 hours early. You're going to come pick us up and you got to give us a ride down to the Bronx." So Stevie
No
Lou's a
questions
good
asked.
soldier.
Let's do this.
Good soldier. I'm getting 2 hours extra
Yeah, let's
pay.
go.
This sounds sketchy. I'm down with it. So fucking, we drove down to the Bronx. We pull up into this McDonald's, and I'll never forget.
It would
this
always be
fucking guy
McDonald's.
jumps into the back of my car,
Hmm.
and they do a transaction, right? And then he looks at me. He goes, "Do you need any Coke?" Like that, straight up, you know. So that's when the jig was up.
Shit
You're
got
like,
real.
it got real.
That's
Shit
Yeah,
got
that's
real.
fine.
I was playing stupid the whole time, but then like,
Yeah.
I looked at her. I was like, "Do I need Coke?" Like I didn't know what to say. I was young. I was like 16, 17,
Aw.
and she was like, "No, I got it. Don't worry." And I was like, "No, I'm good." So we drove back up out of the Bronx, back to where I'm from,
Yep.
to the Blockbuster. She was like, "Okay, thank you. Like, go run the register." The manager's telling me, so I'm like down on the register doing my job, and then they're like up in the manager office.
Yeah,
which you
yeah,
can
yeah.
see. It's like a
Mhm.
bird's nest sort of thing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like they call the fucking thing, and they're like, "Yo, Steve, come up here. We gotta talk to you for a second or whatever." You know. So I was like, "All right, I think I know what's going on here." So I go
Yeah.
on, and they've like, there was a camera in the office, and they like put it
Strategically
just
placed
outside.
it.
Yeah, they went right
yeah.
outside, and they were like, "Just pretend like we're talking to you, just so you know that one over there is for you," you know. And I was like, "All right, you know
Your
what?"
payment.
So
Love this.
sorry, mom, sorry, dad, but this is,
It is
how
what
it
it is.
went. I went in with that. So now I took my first hit of Coke, and they were like, "Hey, you know what? You're not running the register. You should just go down on the floor and just like, you know, put videos
Yeah,
away." So
clean the
Maria,
box.
some couple walks up to me and they go, "Hey, could you suggest us a movie?" On my first line of Coke. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"So, comedy, drama, what do you like, romantic or musical, or what do you got, like documentaries, or what do you gonna?"
Oh my God. This
Like,
is amazing.
yeah, like I mean, I look coked up now. I'm sober. You know, like imagine me just. I like once I like got those folks' suggestion, I was literally walking up to couples and I was like, "Hey, can I suggest you a movie?" You know, and it
Oh
was
my
fucking
God.
creep show. So yo, the fucking managers saw that and they were like, they called up and they were like, "Yo, put Steve on the register." Actually, you know, like do go on the register. Get him the
Yeah,
fuck off the
yeah.
floor.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, we're
The
going to do
jig
this
is hot.
every night and
Yeah,
have you
so-
walk around and rile up the customers.
That's pretty embarrassing, but I mean, I'm out.
I
I'm
love
out
it.
here. I'm out here.
Hey,
So-
listen,
So cool.
life's all about embarrassing stories sometimes. You gotta have them. If you didn't have an embarrassing story, it'd be boring.
Dude, and you know what?
Yeah.
And like, listen, it's better to do cocaine when you were 16,
Yes.
looking at Blockbuster Video before fucking fentanyl started.
Yeah, of
You know,
course.
because I won't touch that shit no more,
Yeah,
man.
no
Like
Yeah.
people call me a
shot.
crackhead, they call me a cokehead, they call me a coke, whatever. You can do that. I'm fine with you calling me that. I don't do that shit no more,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'm
no
on
shot.
sativas.
Yeah.
Sativa for your beaver.
I like that.
And that's it. So, I mean, God
Yeah.
bless anybody who's out there partying. I'm not judging, but
Just be careful, man.
That
It's
shit's
just
Yeah.
a fucking
man.
dangerous
Shit's
game.
scary
It's
now.
a dangerous game right now.
so let's
Dangerous game.
fucking bad vibe that. Move on.
Yeah, yeah.
You have so many things going on. I feel like we talked about so many projects.
You know what?
you
If
have.
I can, I told Chris I had a lot of
You
fucking
got a lot of
plugs.
plugs.
Yeah,
Plug
let's
your
go.
shit.
Yeah, if,
Plug your shit.
yeah. The last 3 plugs I could do real quick. I mean, I'm Steve Can't Lose on Twitter. So if anybody wants to check me out on Twitter, that's where I do a lot of my announcements. I'm Stevie Lou Comedy on Instagram. So that's confusing, but whatever. And thank you again, guys. Thank you so much for your time here. If folks can check out the new film, check out cuckisland.com.
No way.
C-U-C-K.
No way.
No.
Island.com. The film is called The Secret of Cuck Island.
That's amazing.
And they were able to nail cuckisland.com. So if anybody
Shout
wants to
out
see,
Cock
Yep.
Island.
that is a Trauma production. Trauma presents The Secret of Cuck Island. I have a starring, a co-starring role, and I did a lot of work for special effects.
Oh, fuck
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
also my 2 co-hosts on Blunt Smoker were involved. Like, we did a film called Shakespeare's Shitstorm. That was Lloyd Kaufman's final, or what he's claiming is his final film.
Okay.
We're thinking we may be able to, if the money's right, we'll get Lloyd
Squeak one
out of
more
bed
out of
for
him.
one more. But that was his final film. Lloyd Kaufman, the writer and director of Toxic Avenger. It's called Shakespeare's Shitstorm. We shot the film about 5 years ago in New York City. And from the relationships that we made on the set of Shakespeare's Shitstorm, we've been able to form a really small, cool crew of dedicated folks down in Tennessee, up in New York, all over the country, who come together to make amazing art.
Cool.
I love that.
You know,
That's
so
so
yeah,
cool.
A
cuckisland.com.
collective. Yes.
And then the last one, I promise, I've got a film called Renters coming out. My buddy TJ Kiss directed this. So if folks want to do check out more of my work, and I doubt you do, but thank you if you
No,
do.
we definitely
course
do.
they do.
We definitely
can go
do.
to-
They all do.
Kiss It Goodbye on YouTube is his channel. He will be releasing Renters very soon, but there's a few shorts on the Kiss It Goodbye channel that I starred and had a part in. So
Nice.
I think it really was the pandemic that really
Yeah.
kind of made me realize that you got to diversify
Of course.
and you got to
Mhm.
stay with what you're good at
Mhm.
and feeling good about. You know, so I honestly was starting to still feel pretty shitty about stand-up comedy because it is a grind. It is
Of
a
course.
tough
Oh,
business.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But so
So-
many things are. So, like, if it's something you enjoy and love and you're passionate about, you got to just keep, like, hammering away.
Yeah, and you know, as bad as the whole pandemic was, so much good came out of that for some people. Really, the people that really like sat back and took a life and took a look at their life and reanalyzed and kind of just adjusted and moved the pieces around to dude, you know
We
what I
all
mean? Look at all
did.
the work you got going on. Like, that's amazing.
Some people took a look at their life and changed it.
Yeah.
I took a look at my underpants while I was in the pandemic.
I
and was
barely
like, oh my
changed them."
God, I gotta get some
Yeah.
new drawers.
Yeah, no, I'm still rocking the same skivvies. Holes in them. I saw this meme. It was like guys will spend X amount of dollars on a T-shirt, but it's like when they with their underwear, and it was Spider-Man's like ripped mask to shreds. Their underwear looked like this. It was so funny. So it's so true too. I mean,
Yeah. I feel like a lot of girls are like that too, though. They need to
really?
step up their game. Yeah. A lot of girls that I know.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I guess I didn't
I d-
realize Maria's been. I guess you
Yeah.
What?
she's-
swing from
What?
both sides of the plate.
Me?
Yeah,
I have.
that's
yeah.
good. Good on you. That's
We're
I'm very-
we're
I'm
very
for that.
Yeah, we're very
We're
all
very
for that.
open.
We're very
here. Yeah.
open group family over here.
Open-minded, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome, Maria. You
Yeah.
rock. I gotta give. I said this before the show. Maria has an amazing radio voice.
Yes.
Do
Yeah.
I?
Yeah,
Thank
and,
you.
and you are smart, intelligent, and funny as well. But
Thanks
on
so
top of
much.
that, you got a solid broadcaster voice.
That's really funny. My
And-
aunt one time told me that I should be a phone sex operator. And it made me feel a little weird that my aunt suggested it. But I mean, that's a compliment, I guess, if even she pointed it out.
I guess maybe your aunt also swings from both sides
Yeah.
of the plate.
Maybe.
Then.
Maybe.
And I mean-
hopefully they are not watching this right now.
I'm a comedian. I make jokes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
So yeah, dude, I am so stoked that we were finally able to make this happen, and you were able to.
Yeah, you made
Come out,
such
like,
a long
seriously.
journey. We appreciate it so
It's
much. Seriously.
really, really from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful
Seriously.
studio you have here. Anytime
Thank
you
you.
guys want to collaborate, I am down.
Yeah, and listen, like, this isn't just us. Like, we rent the space out. If you know people that don't
Mhm.
have the equipment or a space, come
Yeah.
on through. We'll record you. We'll do whatever you need.
You'll make a championship belt
Yeah,
for somebody.
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
need.
we'll fight your podcast.
that's what Ryan says every time. We'll fight your podcast. He's got
Yes.
he's lining up
You
a
guys
lot
would
of
fuck us
fights, and I'm like,
You guys would
I
fuck
don't
us
want
up.
to do that.
No, but you know what? Like, let's give Ryan a shout out because I did my podcast homework. I've listened to your show before, you know,
Mhm.
and I listened to a couple of the previous episodes before I come through to make sure
Mhm.
I'm on point, you know. And
Aw.
you guys, all three of you, have a really cool thing going on here, and
Thank you.
I
Man.
love this vibe.
Thank
know?
you.
And you couldn't have made me more comfortable, and you gave me my plugs here too.
Yeah.
So God bless you guys for that.
Thank you so much, man.
That's what we strive for. It's community.
Yeah, we're all just one big family. We're all just trying to do it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I go another 2 hours on the air or on a train or whatever for you guys. We make good connections here.
Oh man. Again, thank you so much. Folks, Stephen Lewis. All his information will be in the description below. Everything he talked about will be in there. Every plug, every everywhere. Everything. All his information will be in the description. And as always, please, we work hard at this shit. Hit the like button. Tell your friends, subscribe. It's not that hard. It's free. It's free 99. It's free. Everybody likes free shit. And you never know. We give away free shit all the time.
We do.
So, guys, we love you. We'll see you next week. Stay clouded.
Connect with the Two Clouded Mind Show. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok at @the__clouded_minds_show, at @2 clouded on Twitter, and the Two Clouded Mind Show on Facebook. Get the Two Clouded Mind Show podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and of course, subscribe to their YouTube channel and hit that notification bell.